Picture this, you're scrolling on TikTok and you come across a video of a first class graduate celebrating. You open the comment section expecting to see congratulations and wow, I'm so proud of you. Instead, the comments are, go use the first class third yearly. You know book. Oh yeah, book your flight now. And they play laughing emojis. I want you to sit with that for a second because those comments didn't come from nowhere and they didn't come from bad people. They came from young Nigerians who have been taught slowly over years and genuinely believe that education is a joke, that first class degree is something to laugh at, and that the real move, the smart move, is to do something else. I want to talk about why those comments exist, where they came from, and what they are telling us about something much bigger than one graduation video. I want to start with what is actually visible. Online, it looks like this. A Nigerian student wins the gold medal at an international science Olympiad, representing the country with no government funding, no media support, just raw ability and years of hard work. The post announcing it gets like 300 likes and maybe 14 comments. That same week, someone does something unhinged on a live stream and it's everywhere. 10 million views. I'm being carried by gossip blogs. We've made a choice about what we amplify, and we make that choice so consistently that I started to feel like it's not a choice and it's just how things are. In person, it looks different but feels the same. It looks like bright students quietly losing interest in school because the math keeps not adding up, because they've watched so many people do everything right and still end up struggling. It looks like families, loving families, gently suggesting to their children that maybe there's a faster route. And I understand why they say it. Here's the thing about symptoms, they always have a cause. And if you just treat the symptoms, you'll be treating them forever. So let me tell you what I think is actually driving this. There was a time in Nigeria when education generally delivered, when a university degree meant something concrete, and parents could point to a clear future and say, work hard, get your certificate, and your life is better than ours. And it was true. Then the 1980s happened, the oil crash, the structural adjustment programs. The economy collapsed in a way that no individual Nigerian caused or could control. And suddenly, all the people who had done everything right were struggling. Their children watched and drew the only conclusion available to them, that education had failed. And that belief got passed down and refined and repeated until it became school as scam. If you graduate and the job market cannot absorb you, what are you supposed to do with your certificate? Frame it. It's not just that there are no jobs, it's that while young Nigerians are being told to stay in school, work hard, trust the process, they are watching in real time an obscene display of wealth from the people who were supposed to build the systems to reward that hard work. Private jets, designer everything, foreign schools for their children, while public universities rot. Politicians who cannot account for billions, businessmen who build their fortunes not through the merits the education system told you to aspire to, but through proximity to power, through contracts, through access that no certificate can ever buy you. And young people are watching this. They're not stupid. They're looking at the evidence in front of them and drawing a conclusion that the study hard and succeed narrative was pushed, at least in part, to keep them quiet and compliant, while the actual world moved in a different direction. You cannot ask people to love something that keeps hurting them. ASU strikes have stolen years from students who did nothing wrong, overcrowded lecture halls, labs with no equipment, lecturers who haven't been paid, and students that graduate and spend months or even years trying to get their own certificates. And there's something dishonest about asking young Nigerians to celebrate education when the institutions continue to treat them with such disdain. I'm saying this as someone currently in the Nigerian education system. There are things about this experience that I genuinely had to defend. I've seen people having this conversation as if the disregard for education is a moral failure. It's not. Education in Nigeria is 4 to 10 years of investments with uncertain returns. JAMB recently set the cutoff mark to 150 for the 2026-2027 academic session. In the 2010s, the minimum was 200. We have lowered the bar we ask children to clear to enter university, not because the bar was too high, but because the system underneath it has collapsed. Fewer than 30% of early grade Nigerian children meet basic literacy and numeracy benchmarks. Nigeria has an estimated 18 to 20 million out-of-school children, the highest number of out-of-school children anywhere in the world, according to UNESCO's 2026 report. People respond logically to the incentives in front of them, and if we want different behaviors, we need different incentives. You cannot shame people into valuing something that keeps on failing them. We cannot talk about the importance of education when universities are on strike, graduates are unemployed, and children don't have functional classrooms. The case for education will only be convincing again when education is genuinely what the sacrifice it demands. I don't have a simple path to fixing the education system in Nigeria. I wish I did. But the people who have the power to do anything seem the least motivated to do so. This one is not about the government. This one is on us. Nigerian students are winning international science and mathematics Olympiads. Nigerian authors are winning global literary prizes. Nigerian researchers are publishing in renowned journals. These people exist. They are doing extraordinary things, and we do not make them famous. We have the ability to make someone a household name in Nigeria overnight. We have demonstrated that. The question is whether we are willing to aim the same energy at the first class graduate, the researcher, or the author. There are days when being in medical school feels like the most obvious choice I've ever made. Days when I tell myself, wow, okay, you literally could not have done anything else. And then there are also days when I feel exhausted in a way that is difficult to describe to anyone who hasn't been there. When I see people my age already building things that matter, already working, already earning, there's a voice in the back of my head that asks if I made the right choice. The reason I keep going is not because I'm certain the investment will pay off the way I hope. I know what the Nigerian healthcare system is like. It probably won't. The reason I keep going is because I believe that what I'm learning matters beyond what is will pay me. That understanding the way the human body works, understanding diseases, and understanding how to treat them, those things are worth knowing, even if the financial equation doesn't turn out how I hope. And I think that's actually the argument for education that we've stopped making. We've reduced the case for education to it will get you a job. And when it doesn't reliably deliver that, we have no second argument. Education is not just about jobs. It's about learning to think carefully, learning to sit with complexity, learning to question things that everyone around you accepts without question. And you don't get these things from a certificate. They are things that the process gives you. I don't know how this ends. I don't know if Nigeria will find its way back to believing in education in my lifetime. I genuinely don't know. I know this video was not extensive enough. There are still so many parts of this conversation that I did not cover in this video. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. Thoughts about the video, about the education system, about Nigeria as a whole. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.